I'm going to use the Hey, what's up? Welcome back to my channel and welcome to this tutorial. So for today's look, it's obviously this look here. I was planning for it to be a bit more of a cranberry eye, but it kind of happened to go a bit more on the pink side of things. But I'm still happy with how it turned out. So we just like have that like soft shimmery pink on the lid and a ton of highlight as usual. Anyway, if you want to see how I get this whole look, then please keep watching. I just did some instant self tan around my body, so I'm just going to match my face up. I'm going to prime first. I'm going to use the Marc Jacobs primer, which by the way I have been loving, like really loving. It definitely helps like keep my makeup in place. It doesn't dry my skin out. I really like it. Okay, so I'm going to take the Hoola from Benefit. Yeah, it's just like a liquid bronzer, but I like to mix this with my foundation. So I'm going to use the NARS foundation. I'm going to use the darker one. I think this is Punjab. Then I'm going to take some of the Hoola. I just put some out on my hand and then just kind of add some with it. It is like quite dark, so depending on your colouring, you know yourself kind of how much to add. So I'm taking a Morphe Y7 brush and I'm just going to mix these on. Oh yeah, that worked. That's actually the perfect shade for my tan. It is the most disgusting rainy day here in Vancouver. Like dreary, horrible, cold, miserable. Like I am not leaving my house today. It's one of those days. I have to say I am so loving this NARS foundation. I really love it. Now Shape Tape, as always, this is the shade Light, so we're just gonna conceal and highlight with this. This is just a Sigma Concealer Blend Kabuki brush. Just to carve out my contour, I'm going to use the Clay Stick foundation from Tarte. This is the shade Deep Honey. And the brush I'm using to blend it out is a fuchsia brush. It is a 108 Duo Cheek Fibre. So we're just going to blend this out. And then just to set that, I'm going to use the Peach Perfect powder from Too Faced. So I'm going to use this to, the usual, set my T-zone and under my eyes. So for my brows, I'm going to use the Ka-Brow from Benefit. And this is in the shade number 2. So it is the cooler toned one. And I'm just going to fill my brows in. So I like to just start and do the line at the bottom. And then along the top, I just basically go parallel. And then attach them. Then whatever's left on the brush, I'll just kind of wiggle back and forth in between the hairs. Just to fill in any little gaps. Again, another little bit more, I'm just going to flick the hairs up. This just makes it a little bit softer at the front. I'm just going to take the Precisely My Brow Pencil in the shade number 2 as well, and I'm just going to go underneath and tidy the brow a little bit, just in any areas that need to be tidied up slightly. Okay, now I'm taking my favourite brow gel, which is the Ready Set Brow from Benefit, and I'm just going to tidy up my brows. I'm just going to set my brows. So for my eye base, I'm taking Soft Ochre Paint Pot from MAC. We're just going to put this on the lids. For my eyeshadows, I'm taking the BH Cosmetics palette. This is the L'Amour one. So it has all these pretty shades. So we're going to go for these type of tones today on the eyes. So the first shade I'm going to start with is this one here. Christ. Ooh. Not one is broke. I don't know how many times I drop eyeshadow palettes and makeup and everything. I actually just drop everything that I touch, pretty much. Anyway, taking this first shade. And the brush I'm using is a Morphe M513. And just going into the crease. So I'm going in with a bit more of a tapered brush. This is the Morphe Y19 brush. And we're taking the red shade now. Or the red? It's not really red, but it's like the, what's the word? Like a cranberry, maroony. Yeah. This one. I think I'm just going to focus this more on the outer part of the crease. Yeah, so outer part of the crease and just blend it in slightly, but we're not going all the way in. Yeah, I feel like this is a little bit pink. I wasn't expecting it to come out as pink as it did. I'm going to take some of this brown shade here. And I'm just going to go into the outer crease again with this. Just kind of hoping this will help take away some of the pink. Oh yeah, this is toning it down a little bit more. It was just a little bit too much on the pink side. Oh, I see a little eye water. Please fuck off. This eye, watery eye, ruins this whole look. I will be mad. Because it's starting to come together how I want it to look. So for the lid, I want to use this shade here. But you know me, as always, I always like to put a base down just to enhance any shimmer or any type of, yeah, like shimmery shade that I put on the lid. So I'm going to take the Liquid Moon Dust from Urban Decay. This is the shade Recharged. So it does have that like soft, like metallic-y, pinky, peachy kind of shade to it. I'm torn between... This was the original shade I wanted to do on the lid. But look how pretty this is. It's like pretty much the eyeshadow version of this. Maybe I could do both. I'm just going to do both somehow. I'm going to figure it out. But I'm just going to put this on the lid first. So I'm just kind of pressing the product in. I'm going to take the lightest shade first and then I'm going to go in with this shade. So let's take the lighter one and press it. Wow, it's pretty much identical. So I'm going to do this on like the first half of the eye. Or first half of the lid. And I flip my brush over then and use the darker shade. Yeah, that worked, I think. So I'm going to take my Marc Jacobs pencil. This is the shade Earthquake and I'm putting this in the waterline and along the lash line. And with a little small shader, we're just going to blend this out. And just soften the line. I've taken a little bit of the first shade that I used and I'm going to use that to blend this out. So I'm just going to take the Total Temptation mascara from Maybelline and do my lashes. So now I'm going to take some of my Bahama Mama bronzer from the Balm and I'm just going to use this to bronze and just go over the cream contour that we did. For my blush, I'm taking the Marc Jacobs Lines and Last Night blush. Just a little bit. And then I'm taking my good old trusty Hoola and I'm using this to just go over my cheekbones a little bit, just to define them a little bit more. I'm going to take a little bit of my Rodeo Drive highlight and we're going to do cheekbones. And just kind of add a nice little glow to our skin. I'm also going to use this in my inner corners as well, just to add that little bit of brightness. For my lips, I'm going to use the Flawless liquid lipstick. This is the shade Cameron. And I'm just going to add a little bit of gloss on top. This is the NYX Butter Gloss in Fortune Cookie. I was planning on fixing my hair, but I'm too lazy. I don't care enough to fix my hair. Anyway, this is the finished look. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.